Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. All right, now please excuse my nasal sound. I am dealing with the stuff they keep spraying up there in the air. And by the way, can I say this real quick? Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. So now that we know where we're at, not something being talked about a lot. This story doesn't really get a lot of coverage for some reason, but OMG, O'Keefe Media Group. All right, so check this out. He uncovered this really alleged scam that may be going on, and retirees and people where they might, like, say for instance, if you donate like $5 to a campaign or whatever, I guess that kind of gets the ball rolling, and there's possible we're going to find out. So I'm not claiming anything yet, but James O'Keefe has exposed that these elderly people are donating like 100 times a day, $10 a day, to where it's like lots and lots of money, and they do this because it helps to circumvent campaign finance laws that are in place. And so these people say they don't know anything. Yeah, I've donated some money, but anyhow, I've got an article. This will help kind of back up what I'm talking about real quick. Let me slide over to this real quick. Okay, so here it is. Exclusive. Democrat Party reportedly received half of its donations from unemployed Americans. Many are elderly people who cast their voice and whose identities may have been possibly stolen, allegedly. I don't know. But they want to know, like, where's the money actually coming from? Okay, yes, okay. So we are, the money's being sent out, but it's not by those people, but they're using their coattails to kind of get it through the system so that it looks like a civil donation from, or civil as like, from people, just regular people, not from businesses and NGOs or whatever. So in 2020, millions were reportedly donated to BLM after George Floyd was killed. At the same time, 20 plus police were killed. I mean, what it is there's a lot of money going out, and of course these organizations like the BLMs and the people's, like, some of that stuff is all trigger words for YouTube, so you know what I'm talking about. That money gets circled right back, Jen Psaki, back to the Democrat Party, some kind of strange occurrence allegedly. But Thousand Currents was allegedly a nonprofit organization. This is another one, Thousand Currents, and hold on one second. A preliminary computer analysis by the Take Back Action Fund, obtained exclusively by the Fox News, has found that nearly half of the 2019 donations to Act Blue were made by people claiming to be unemployed. Or not necessarily, they could be just retired or whatever, so they just don't currently gain employment at the time. But James O'Keefe broke this story. Let me get back, Big Me. So James O'Keefe had broke this a while back, and just the people were like, they were liberals, of course, but they slammed some doors in his faces. But he found out that there's so much more to this whole thing, and Dinesh D'Souza was in prison for this, but he was trying to circumvent a campaign finance laws, but it was like of just a mere amount of money, and these people are just sliding it through these people's accounts, possibly through stolen information. But I wanted to touch base with that. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, today they were kind of like doing that whole arraignment thing with Trump, and I stand with Trump. I think that we're looking at some real banana republic stuff going on here, and just in case, like I say, we know where we're at here. There is nobody that can fix this problem better than him. So if we can just all stand behind him and unite, just all of us Americans, just not MAGA people, let's just get behind it as Americans, because we do know what the end result would be if, like, this all goes through and everything. What would happen to people like us? They're writing us down every day. They're putting us in little books, and they know exactly where to find us. So you need to be understanding what the significance of this. Even if you're not even a Trump guy, or not, even if you're like a lefty, your leftism can only go so far before it needs to go further left. And you're not going to go but so far left, because you're a human being and you know where you actually are up here, unless you actually bow down to these people. And if you want to do that, fine. There's no life involved with that. I'll never live under those circumstances. And so just remember that. This tyranny isn't good for America. This might be fun to watch for you guys, thinking that something's going to come out of this, but it's going to cause so many problems for the future and the generations. Think about that. Pretty impactful. So maybe it's a good idea to start looking into the further end of the spectrum of what's going on with lefties. I'm talking to the lefties now, guys, not none of you guys. I know we're all on the same page. But the lefties are the people who are just thinking that this is the greatest thing this side of Wisconsin cheese, which is pretty good cheese. Scary things. Thank you guys for tuning in. Lots of love, and I'm out.